Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel and another trading video. So I want to talk about my first few days experiences with prop trading and their broker BRK Holdings. Firstly, I'd say if you are a crypto trader and wanted to trade Bitcoin as an example, I wouldn't recommend doing it on this particular platform. We've seen over recent months a lot of other trading firms or spread betting firms actually ban the use of cryptocurrencies and trading on their platforms, and it's pretty much almost impossible to trade on here with the spreads they've got. Now, although Bitcoin does move a huge amount, it can move 1, 2, 3,000 points in a day. When you've got a $170, $180 spread to start with, you're already in a massive negative position, and it's going to make trading a lot harder if your main focus is on cryptocurrency and Bitcoin. The other downside is the markets are closed at the weekend with this broker. So if you are in a position and you are, for example, going short at the moment, and it was to spike up massively over the weekend, you could very easily end up in a negative come Sunday when the market's open again. So unless spreads come down to a really manageable level, $10, $20, Bitcoin for me is completely off the table and not tradable with this particular broker. Now, I experienced a bit of a slowdown trading Dow and FTSE on Friday afternoon. It's probably about an hour into the US session, about 3:30 to 4 o'clock. And when I was placing some trades on the Dow's example, really small trades, I was getting a message in the trade box saying in a queue or holding. It seemed like an eternity, but it was probably in about half a second maximum. But in that time, I'm not sure if price moved, I didn't get the right entry. So I'm a bit dubious on how the broker was actually handling the trades at this time. Being just a demo platform, I wasn't expecting to have a message saying in a holding queue. So I was a little bit perturbed about that one, but it's not going to put me off because prior to that, I had no problem with execution on any of those markets. I do a lot of my trading on the FTSE, but unfortunately the spreads on this particular broker ran about 3 points, which for me is quite high. If I was in a long-term trade expecting to go for a day, 2 days, 3 points wouldn't be that significant. But if you're only in there for a short period of time, getting a very quick breakout, that soon adds up. When you've got the same spread on the FTSE as the Dow, to me it makes more sense now trading the Dow because obviously you've got tighter spreads and more movement potentially because obviously the instrument is valued much higher. The next thing I noticed was the overnight fees or the swap charges. I took a short position on dollar yen, expecting it to come off from the recent highs. I took that on a Wednesday when I first started the trading, and by later that evening I'd seen I was a swap fee of about $60. It wasn't a massive position size, only 3 lots, and if I compare that to the swap size I've seen on FTMO, I'd expect probably only $1 or $2 overnight. Typically overnight fees are calculated by the interbank rates, so you're looking at the difference between interest rates between the currencies, and obviously because you're borrowing against them they can work that out. So sometimes you're in positive, sometimes you're in negative, but in this case I was in a massive negative swap on that particular pair. It may also be that a lot of brokers use what they call Tom Next, and they take effectively the Wednesday night and they charge you a weekend fee as a rollover. I find that almost criminal, but a lot of them do it, and that's standard practice. They call it Tom Next, look it up, it's everywhere. But unfortunately, there's very little information on this particular broker on what they do about their charges and their fees. It would have been nice if they had it listed on their website, but unfortunately, it's just not there. So if you are looking to hold a position on currency or commodities for a long period of time, do check out what the overnight swap fees, because they could start to accumulate quite quickly. It's not all bad. Most of my trades have been around British pound and euro, and also gold, and I've had no problem at all with the execution and transaction fees on these. Spreads have been really tight, and I've had literally instant execution every time I place a trade. One of my biggest concerns with the prop trading was their inability to have an interface that showed really good metrics. I think it's really easy to do, especially when you look at the reporting you can download straight out of MetaTrader 5 that has all the information you literally were linking to a website. It wouldn't be difficult to get a few developers to have a look at this and literally take the file from an HTML file, pass it straight into a website and have live data almost instantaneous. So currently with the prop trading, there isn't a really good client area to see all your metrics. So what I'm going to do at the end of each day is download from MetaTrader the actual report summary and store that every day, so I can actually keep a log of that as well. So if there are any disputes with the prop trading when it gets to verification, at least I've had to go back in and say, okay, these are all the trades I placed, these are all the executions. At no point did I ever go below your drawdown limits of the 5% daily or 10% max. So overall, I think it's been a pretty good experience. Every broker has their own little quirks and things to find out, and I've been pretty aggressive in all my trading this week to literally get into all the markets, find out what the spreads are, look at the execution times, and I'm pretty confident that I'm going to make a success this one, and there should be no reason to doubt the actual broker. So let me know in the comments if you've had any similar problems with the broker, or if you're looking to do a challenge with the prop trading. See you soon. Cheers.